If we look back at the human history, one thing is for certain, that history is not a peaceful and a smooth journey, and that conflict is the heartbeat of the past. So, why does history seem so full of struggles? Why do nations rise and fall, revolutions erupt, and wars break out? For Hegel, it was not just random chaos. He believed that all of this history is moving in one direction towards the human freedom, and the driving force behind this movement is what he called the process of dialectic, which is a three-step process. A system or an idea exists, that's the thesis. An opposing idea starts to emerge and challenges it, that's the antithesis. And when these two ideas clash, or when they come into conflict with each other, the result is a synthesis, which is a more pure form of the prior two clashed ideas. And this very synthesis then becomes the new thesis, and the cycle repeats. So Hegel says that each time, when each cycle completes, humanity inches closer to a fuller understanding and realization of the freedom. The dialectical process of Hegel can be best understood if we take into account, let's say, for instance, the French Revolution. The thesis was the monarchy, the absolute rule of the king. The antithesis was the revolution itself, people demanding liberty, equality, and fraternity. When these two ideas clashed, the result was the synthesis, which was the rise of new political institutions. Though not perfect, but still it was a step forward in giving citizens more right, especially if we consider the pre-French Revolution times and the post-French Revolution times. So to Hegel, all this was not just random, meaningless chaos. Rather, it was what he believed, the unfolding of the history, or history working itself out. And conflict is central to his work. He believed that progress doesn't happen in times of comfort and stability. Rather, it happens through struggle and crisis. When two forces collide, the contradictions get exposed, and out of that conflict, humanity learns something new and builds something high. For example, without World War II, world might not have formed the United Nations to prevent the future global wars. Similarly, without, let's say, the American Civil War, slavery might not have been abolished, but it did. Painful events, and as tragic as they were, it still pushed humanity towards new forms of freedoms and unity. So, in Hegel's eyes, wars, conflicts, revolutions, they are not just destruction, they are also transformation. And that history is not random, rather, it has a pattern in which it moves dialectically or in a stepwise manner towards the human freedom. So, the story of the history is actually the story of the human beings becoming more and more free.